is over. The system is online. This is the new era. Can you hear the alarm? It calls us home. Panic.
Hello, everyone. So good to see you. Can you hear me now, everyone? No sound. No sound, huh? Let's see here. You can hear me now, Town Chat? Okay. Well, welcome in, everyone. So good to see you. Give me a 1 if you can hear me. Good to see you. I hope you like the new intro. Welcome in, Cooper, Town Chat, Jilly, Nick, thank you for being here. Janet, we're going to be talking about 3 cases today. One that is very urgent. A young lady, 19 years old, out of Texas, who has recently gone missing on Christmas Eve. And we need to get into action and get out there. There's still time to find this girl. Her name is Camilla, and we are going to cover her case first tonight. Let me go to Camilla here. Don't know why this is not. Sorry, y'all.
The system is the...
Oh my goodness, I'm having technical issues today. The
wait is over.
Well, I guess we're watching it.
The system is online.
I guess we're watching it again. Hi, everyone.
This is the new era. Can you hear the alarm? It calls us home. Panic. The wait is over.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, you guys. I don't know why it's doing this. I am having technical difficulty. Forgive me. Hello to everyone. There's a press conference at 3 p.m., right? I did pull it up and they were still waiting. Has it started yet, Nick? Oh my goodness, all this stuff's coming on. Hold on 1 second. Let me stop this. I don't know what's happening here.
The wait is over.
Okay, there we go. We are waiting. There should be a press conference starting. We are going to get started. Welcome in, everyone. We want to jump into action for Camila Mendoza's Olmos, missing out of San Antonio, Texas. She is 19 years old. If you know anything about her disappearance, you're supposed to call the Bearer Sheriff's Office at 210-335-6000. She was last seen Christmas Eve morning, 6:38 a.m. at her residence in San Antonio, Texas. She was seen looking through her vehicle, and I have the photo of the neighbor's surveillance for you. They don't know what she took, but they believe she left on foot because her vehicle remained and the footage stopped, and she is nowhere to be seen since. She did not take her cell phone. Now, it is not unusual for Camila to go out at 6:38 a.m. She likes to take morning walks. However, it is unusual for her not to take her cell phone with her. She usually communicates via social media and her friends while taking her walk. She did not take her cell phone. Now, one thing that's really important is this is still very new. So anyone in that area of San Antonio, in the hill country around the area, if you can go out there and search for Camila, let's bring her home. Let's get her home. Only a few days have passed. If you have Ring cameras, check your Ring camera footage. Now, kudos to law enforcement in the area. They are actually, I know from an inside source, going door by door physically themselves, knocking for footage. However, if you are anywhere in that area, let's say within 10 miles, please check your footage, call 911, have them come pick up your footage. We want to bring Camila home. We know time is of the essence here. Her family is very concerned. I am trying to get in touch with the aunt, her Aunt Nancy, to talk with her and ask them what they need from us, what help they need. And Nick put check and preserve all Ring footage. Yes, preserve it all. Don't let it get lost in the loop. Don't let it get deleted. Preserve the footage. If you are busy, preserve it. If you're busy, make sure you save it. Something could be on there that could bring Camila home. What we do know is Camila they believe, in imminent danger. They are concerned about her mental health. They said it was reported, I believe, by the New York Post that she has where you take one's life, idealizations, some mental health issues. She recently went through a breakup, but law enforcement felt that that was mutual, nothing nefarious going on. Their locals have been searching an area. They searched an area that they were volunteers out searching, where law enforcement right now is doing more surveillance, getting the footage, creating a foot map of where Camila went after she left her residence, putting that together and trying to find 19-year-old Camila. Now, the search has extended into Mexico. That was just reported today. It has extended into New Mexico, that in Nuevo Leon, the Nuevo Leon Attorney General's office put out a missing persons report for Camila. So it has extended into Mexico. I don't know I know they were checking to see if possibly there were any sightings of her crossing the border. I do not know. I'm assuming possibly there were, if it is now extending more into it, being announced to the public that they are taking the search, extending it into Mexico. But kudos to law enforcement going door to door, getting that footage. If you so much as see on your footage, let's talk about some things you could be looking for. A car that's suspicious, that's normally not around. a car that is driving slowly in your area, slower than normal. Maybe a vehicle that passes by twice in your footage. That could all be very important and call it in. Save 2 to 3 days from before she went missing to after if you can, please. Even if you are 10 miles away, save the footage. We don't know what we don't know until we know if something is not important. The family is cooperating. They are very concerned. This is not like Camilla, and especially not to be out of touch. Not to be out of touch like that. So they do consider her in imminent danger. What you can do, get out to the area if you're in that area. This is, so you know, the footage of her by her car. It was from a neighbor's surveillance. She was in her car looking for something. They do know she did take her keys and possibly driver's license, doesn't have her phone, but they don't know what she took out of the car specifically. And then the footage ended. Her car remained and she left. To give you a little closer look. Now, she is said to be wearing let me get it. Hold on one second. I want to get it right for you, the name. It's a black sweater with baby blue accents, a black North Face sweater with baby blue accents, baby blue shorts, and white shoes. This is an interesting image when you hear that. I see, it could be the length of the jacket, but this allegedly is Camilla, but it's confusing the image when you hear what she was wearing. But that is allegedly Camilla captured on the camera footage. Beautiful young lady. I hope they find her and find her fast. I do worry about her history of idealizing self-harm. I'm going to check real quick and see if anyone in the house sees when the press conference starts, if you'll let me know. She is 19 years old. Let me put a picture back up of Camilla Mendoza Olmos. Very mysterious disappearance. It's very concerning if she was taken across to Mexico, into Mexico. Beautiful young lady. Yes, I did, Alcoholic. I responded to you a little bit ago. I believe I did. I meant to. So let me go ahead and check for the press conference. 1 second. What?
We're stepping up operations. Up to this point, we've been relying upon the school to allow us access, and the school's been great partners, but at a certain point, we see that, we don't want to interfere with their operations either. And so we've now set up our command post. Again, they've been gracious enough to let us use the parking lot. That way we can come out and do what we need to do without disturbing their ongoing operations. But as of now, as the last few days, we've been talking about the lack of video from the community. Up to this point, really the only thing that we had some videos and stills from her driveway, from the young lady's driveway, and what we believed was her right around 7 a.m. Late yesterday, we were made aware of a second video that somebody from the neighborhood here was on their way to work about 7 a.m., about the same time, and saw what they believed may have been her on a dash cam. This person had a dash cam operating in their vehicle. They shared that video with us. And again, at present, I'm not able to say with 100% certainty that this is the young lady in the picture, but it does certainly have the clothing description on this pedestrian certainly does match up with what she was wearing at the time. And so, we're sharing that information, that video with you all in hopes that somebody may have collected similar video. Up to this point, really, this was the best direction of flight that we were able to develop. Again, at first, all we had was video right there, right around the residence, and so now, if this is indeed her, we've got what we believe to be a good direction of flight. And so what it looks like is that back over this way is where the residence is. It looks like she may have come out onto Wild Horse Parkway and taken a left and was actually heading this general direction when a motorist driving to work passed her and was able to capture the video. Again, we'll share it with you all. She is wearing what we believe this young lady was wearing about the time that she was last seen. Light blue pajama shorts, if you will, and a dark colored top. And so we're asking anybody, again, with any information to please give us a call, 210-335-6000. You can also email us at bcsotips@bear.org. And what we're asking is, once again, folks from the community, if you've got any surveillance camera video, or if you've got a surveillance camera that maybe you haven't had an opportunity to check up until this point, please make it a point to look. Again, the last video that we have is about 7 a.m. Christmas Eve morning. But, again, even if you don't live here in this immediate neighborhood, maybe you live 2 or 3 communities over, hopefully it doesn't cost you much more than time to just look through your surveillance camera video from later that day and let us know and let us be the judge of it. What we don't want is somebody to go, well, I'm not 100% sure that it's her. It's just a video of somebody, the top of somebody's body walking up my street. Show it to us, send it to us. Let us be the judge of whether it's something usable or not. What we don't want you to do is feel silly calling us, and in reality, you're holding on to something that could help us out with this case. Any questions to this point?
What resources do you have right now? Is the FBI involved? We heard some of those reports.
The FBI has been involved up to this point. The FBI is always a good partner with us, and so right now they've been helping us out with going through some digital devices, some digital evidence, enhancing video, things of that nature. Homeland Security has also been helping us out with regard to checking outbound flights, border crossings. Not that we have any direct information that would lead us to believe that she left the country, but again, we would be remiss if we didn't check everything. And so, at present, there's nothing to share with regard to that. But again, we're thankful for our federal partners for giving us access to their databases that they have. Esta tarde voy a dar más información tocante esta niña que se fue de la casa el día 24 de diciembre. Nosotros hemos andado en esta búsqueda desde ese tiempo. Nosotros físicamente estamos checando el área, las vecindades, las áreas entre las vecindades donde hay monte. Naturalmente nosotros estamos checando todas esas áreas con drones, con perros, con caballos, lo que nosotros tengamos por medio de herramientas nosotros estamos empleando ahorita. Ahorita estamos aquí poniendo nuestro centro de inteligencia móvil aquí en esta escuela, y pues aquí vamos a estar por cuando menos unos cuantos días. Nosotros este día estamos compartiendo video con sus estaciones que se aparenta, que parece que una persona que se capturó en video es posible que es esta niña. Ella, la última vez que la vimos, que alguien la vio, fue aproximadamente las 7 de la mañana el día 24. Este video se aparenta que es aproximadamente ese tiempo. Un testigo que iba al trabajo tenía una cámara en su carro y capturó video que pensamos que es posible que es esta niña que el video capturó. Entonces les estamos enseñando este video con las esperanzas que la comunidad chequen sus cámaras, sus videos, aunque no viven en esta vecindad. Es posible que ella caminó por algún rato y pues es posible que alguien había capturado video que pueden compartir con nosotros. Nos pueden llamar al 210-335-6000 o también nos pueden mandar email bcsotips@bear.org.
So do you believe she could?
At this time you believe that she walked away on her own?
At this point, that's the prevailing theory based upon the video that we have. Unless we have evidence to show otherwise, we believe that she did walk away from the residence on her own.
Any reason
Now, no, I mean, at this point, look, we've got several different theories working, and we've got to, the theories that we're working upon run the whole gamut of possibilities. We do have, unfortunately, some indications of suicidal ideations from this young lady in the past. We do know that there was some depression issues in the past, but as a young person, what young person doesn't have bouts of depression at a certain point? So we can't necessarily afford to just say, oh, well, that must be what it is. We've got to consider all possibilities, from disappearing willfully to the possibility of self-harm, to somebody may have taken her. Maybe, after this video, somebody may have taken her. And so we've got to consider all possibilities at this point. Unfortunate for us, we can't start narrowing that down until some evidence takes us to that, and we're not there yet.
So what is being searched right now? What areas are being searched right now?
Right now, physically, we're searching as close to this area here. But as we're able to, and as more resources are coming online, we're able to expand out a bit more. We've actually got a cadet class that's out here that's physically searching. One of our law enforcement cadet classes is out here searching. Mounted patrol is out on the ground as well. The drones, the dogs, we've got some volunteer search groups that are out kind of doing their own thing, coordinating with us to the extent possible. But, we're concentrating our efforts on this immediate area. John Paul, I'm sorry.
You have mentioned in the past that you believe she's in imminent danger. Can you elaborate as to why?
Sure. With regard to the imminent danger, what led to the clear alert was the information that we had that there may have been some suicidal ideations in the past, some attempts to self-harm in the past were a consideration. And so, again, it's just one of the many theories that we're exploring at this point. But, obviously a young person like this, small in stature, very young, very impressionable. I would say anytime they're away from home, and we don't know where they are, there's always an immediate danger there, concern.
The dash cam video where you sort of believe that you saw her, how far is that from her house?
The dash cam video that we saw is maybe a couple blocks from her home, maybe 2 blocks at the most. I'm just guesstimating there.
Holding anything?
No, she just appears to be walking by herself, and to the person that captured it, it didn't really mean much until such time as they put 2 and 2 together and said, wait a second, on my commute, I saw somebody, and maybe, and she took a chance. The person that brought this to us took a chance, and hopefully it'll pay off for us and it'll help us at least it's given us a better direction of flight to be able to concentrate our efforts on.
The number one trick to lift saggy boobs forever. You put your bra on first thing in the morning. Everything feels lifted and great. And then by lunchtime, it's like gravity won the battle. You're tugging at your straps, you're adjusting your shirt, you're trying to stand taller, but your boobs just won't stay up. You look in the mirror and you get a look at your reflection and think, when did I get so deflated? Like, when did this?
Sí, al principio de la investigación solamente teníamos un video de la casa, que aproximadamente a las 7 de esa mañana que ella estuvo cerca de un carro. El problema con ese video es que no es video todo entero, es una cámara que toma fotografías cada cuantos segundos o cuando ve movimiento. Entonces no teníamos video entero para poder enseñar. Nosotros pensábamos que posiblemente era ella en ese video, cerca de un carro en su casa de ella. Ya este video que estamos compartiendo con ustedes es un poco despuesito de eso, aunque la fecha está equivocada, and I'll tell you guys this part in English here in a little bit. La fecha está equivocada, pero la mujer que capturó ese video, que lo compartió con nosotros, ella sabe que cada día a las 7 de la mañana aproximadamente ella se va al trabajo. Ella iba al trabajo esa mañana aproximadamente a las 7 y capturó este video que a ella no figuraba que era nada importante hasta que vio esto en las noticias y compartió el video con nosotros. The video that I'm going to be sharing with you guys, I just mentioned in Spanish. The date is way off. The time is way off, for whatever reason. The lady that shared it with us, the couple that shared it with us, I should say, they know that this video was captured on this day. They were able to attest to that fact. And they know that she leaves for work every morning around 7 a.m. And so even though the date and time is off, she's fairly certain or very certain that video capture was right around 7 a.m. just after the time we saw her at her driveway.
Mencionó lo de que ella sentía que estaba en peligro. ¿Por qué? ¿Cuál es la razón? Y habíamos escuchado de unas notas.
Mira, bueno, nosotros tenemos información en esta investigación que esta niña sufrió de depresión. En algunos tiempos sufrió de depresión y que tenemos información que ella en algunos momentos habló de cometer suicidio. Ahora, se sabe que muchos jóvenes de esta edad sufren con depresión y de vez en cuando también hablan de hacerse algo ellos mismos. Por eso nosotros no nomás nos estamos concentrando en esa idea, sino que todavía tenemos que fijarnos en toda la información. Puede ser que desafortunadamente ella se hizo algo ella sola. También puede ser que ella solamente huyó de la casa y quiere estar sola por unos días, unas semanas. Pero también es posible que alguien se la llevó. Entonces nosotros tenemos que considerar toda esta información mientras que vemos para dónde nos lleve la evidencia.
Sé que habían perros olfateadores. ¿Hasta dónde llegaron esos perros?
Bueno, están en esta estaban en esta vecindad, pero también esos perros tienen límites a lo que pueden hacer. Nos llevaron a una vecindad aquí cerca y luego de allí ya no tuvieron éxito con decirnos dirección.
You mentioned a path of flight. Does this new video at all narrow where you guys are researching?
Well, it gives us a direction of flight, right? Again, to that point, all we had was her driveway and really didn't know from there. This at least gives us an idea. It was okay, this general direction coming from the residence itself. But with that being said, we still won't say with 100% certainty, it's got to be on this side. Well, we're still going to consider all things, but obviously it's going to steer us a little bit more strongly toward this direction, this general direction. But again, once she hit that roundabout that's back here, she could have gone anywhere from there. So it does narrow it down a bit, but just not 100%.
So we were told that she goes on walks. That's normal.
Mhm.
So where she was, is that a normal place for her to go on her walk?
It's a normal, along her normal route, from my understanding. This young lady is a bit of a fitness enthusiast. She was very much into going to the gym and very much into walking. But again, normal part of her route.
You mentioned digital evidence and digital devices. The FBI is assisting you with that. Can you elaborate on what those
Sure,
devices and evidence is?
she left behind a cell phone, which, as you know, a young person that age, or even a not so young person, who leaves their cell phone behind, right? It's unheard of. But she left behind a cell phone. She left behind an iPad, and so we've had the opportunity to go through some of that digital evidence. Again, thanks to the help from our friends at the FBI. I can't part with too much from what was gleaned from that, but we were able to glean some information from it.
As far as checking flights and ports of entry, are you doing that because something indicated she might have gone that way?
No, there was no indicator that she left, but it's something we'd be remiss if we didn't check, because the last thing we want to do is spend a whole bunch of time searching this immediate area and then she flew to Mexico. There's no indicator here that occurred, but we had to check. Just like we had to check. I can tell you one of the things that I personally saw too yesterday is, she's a U.S. citizen. This young lady is a U.S. citizen. But we still checked with ICE to see, do you have anybody by this name in your custody? Again, not any indicator at all that ICE may have picked her up, but we know that ICE is operating heavily everywhere right now. And unfortunately, being a U.S. citizen is no guarantee that you're not going to get swept up in something. Thankfully, we were not, that didn't lead us to anything. They indicated that they did not have her in custody. But again, we would have been remiss if we didn't at least ask that question.
En lo que va del mes de diciembre, se han incrementado los casos de personas desaparecidas en esta zona del estado.
Mira, nosotros estamos viendo en cada parte del condado que gente se desaparece. Ah, nosotros no tenemos razón para conectar estos casos. Ya se sabe que el año pasado tuvimos otro incidente acá en esta vecindad, cerca de aquí, donde una jovencita de Cuba, era inmigrante de Cuba, desapareció. Ella desafortunadamente la encontraron en el monte, ella se había quitado la vida ella sola, ella misma. Este caso no se piensa que está relacionado a ningún otro caso. Si ya nosotros logramos evidencia que nos llega a juntarlo con otro caso, entonces sí, y lo reportamos, pero por ahorita este caso no está relacionado con ningún otro caso.
Sabemos que las autoridades de Nuevo León emitieron una alerta de que ella estaba desaparecida. ¿Hay una razón en específico por cuál ellos la lanzaron?
No sé, sí sé que tiene parientes en México, la niña, pero ahorita no hay ninguna información que nos lleva para México. No sé por qué ellos pusieron ese aviso. Sé que en otras partes de nuestro país, hasta en Chicago, los medios nacionales están llevando esta historia. Entonces no se sabe por qué, solamente que quieren compartir la información con las esperanzas de ayudarnos a nosotros.
Sir, my name's Edward. I work with a lot of missing persons. Can we?
Thank you, sir. Let me concentrate on the media folks here.
For people that want to help, right?
Yes, sir.
For people in the community,
Yes, ma'am.
what can they do besides, anyone that lives in the neighborhood?
The worst freaking state to live in right now is Utah, and nobody's talking about it.
Video, what volunteer efforts are underway or available?
Well, so the volunteer search groups are kind of doing their thing right now. We would just appreciate it if they coordinate with us. Far be it from us to say don't search. If they feel it in their hearts to do that, we'd appreciate them coordinating with us to let us know where they're going to be. We certainly welcome the help if they so choose. But we would ask that they if they see law enforcement searching a particular area, that they just kind of stay out of that area. The last thing we want to do is be tripping over each other. But certainly if they feel that it's in their hearts to search a certain area, we'd appreciate that.
Just your thoughts on that.
I'm sorry?
Have you found any relevant physical evidence during these ground searches?
No, well, look, I certainly wouldn't be the type to discount anything at this point. I can tell you we haven't been made aware of any evidence that we would say is meaningful. But again, with that being said, if any of these search parties come across anything that they feel is relevant, call us. Call us. What we would recommend or what we would ask is that they not touch it. Because if it does happen to end up being some sort of evidence, we don't want that chain of custody tainted in any way. So if you happen to see something out there, call us, 210-335-6000.
Just your concern that we're now in day 5 without seeing her.
Look, always cause for concern. Young folks, a lot of things can happen to a young person in a matter of hours. So yeah, the fact that we're five days out and counting is certainly cause for concern. A lot of things can happen to this young lady. That's why it's incumbent on us, on this community, to everybody come together with the objective of getting her back to her family sooner rather than later.
Can you talk about what agencies are helping outside of BCSO on the ground, or is it just you all?
Right now, we're the only law enforcement agency out here on the ground that I'm aware of. We have coordinated with SAPD and with Helotes PD, obviously both great partners, because some of the search areas border their city limits. I'm certain that they'd come out and help us if we asked them to. But for right now, it's just BCSO. The FBI has been helping us out, as I mentioned, with some of the technologies. And then HSI has been helping us with databases and things like that. ¿Mande? Bueno, pues aquí vamos a estar por unos cuantos días, cuando menos, y ya de ahí vamos a ver dónde nos lleva la investigación. Ok, gracias.
Can you confirm if that picture in front of her car is specifically her, and why they have some people are saying that they have leggings?
I can't
Confirm.
confirm for certainty that that's her. We believe that that's her, and that's the premise that we're operating under. Okay.
Putting up footage of in front of the school.
We've shared it with these guys. Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank y'all so much.
What about sharing with the family and the friends?
Okay, so that was a little confusing, a lot confusing. what we're going to get from it, we're going to take what we can from there. That was the press conference on Camila Mendoza Olmos. They said originally they only had the surveillance of her standing outside her or looking through her vehicle. And then that footage ended with her leaving the vehicle and the vehicle remaining there. Now a neighbor has submitted footage of her going down Wild Horse Parkway and taking a left. And they are heading their investigation towards that area because that is new information that they did not have before. It is different, I believe he said, than her original or her normal walk route. She does tend to walk, she walks a lot, but she takes her cell phone with her when she walks and communicates via social media and with her friends. So she could have gone on her normal walk and been taken. And now with the search extending into Mexico, that is even more alarms that she could have been taken into Mexico across the border against her will. They are operating under the assumption that she walked away on her own alone, but maybe something could have occurred after that. Just please check your footage if you're in the area, get out and search. You know, one thing that came up in a conversation that it was just really a piece that has stuck with me before we move on from Camilla and on to Sebastian and the Melodee Buzzard is when we hear the Amber Alert go off, we need to, as a world, a country, a nation, a state, a city, a county, that should put us into action. And I think that is, we need to curb the amount of abductions going on. And when we take action immediately, so we hear that alert that we either shut off or read quickly, we need to, as people, we the people need to get out there and start searching if we're anywhere in the area. And if we aren't in the area, sharing those vehicle descriptions, all the information to your contacts to help expedite bringing kids home. So the Amber Alert to us should equate action. Wherever you are, we can share, we can share a picture, contact local media if you have contacts, send flyers, information out to your local contact, to all your social media contacts if you're not in the area. And if you are, get out there and search, hang flyers, do what you can. But our Amber Alert needs to propel us into action. And Camilla's been missing since Christmas Eve, 6:38 a.m., leaving the house alone on foot with her keys and her driver's license, possibly, but not her phone. It's not unlike her to go walking that time of the day. She likes to take walks. We heard the sheriff say a fitness expert, but they are operating under the fact that she walked away on her own, but she could have been walking. Oh, Nick said she had her tidbit thing. Have they traced it? Oh, you talking about Molly? But they said they are concerned about her mental health, which is why they put out the clear alert. The clear alert is for missing adults. Let me verify real quick. So it closes the gap between senior citizen alerts and missing children alerts. So it's for the adult missing people alerts, and it is called Clear in Texas. So that way, I guess that closes the gaps, right? So Camilla, if you're in the area, please search for her. If you're in the hill countries of Texas, search for her. If you're in near San Antonio, search for her. Check your footage for suspicious vehicles, driving slowly, looping by. I'm trying to get a hold of the aunt to ask what they need from us, what we can best do, what information we can get out there, if there's anything else we can do to assist. And let's bring Camilla home. I'm going to keep updating you on Camilla, so hit the notification bell. Just 19 years old, mysteriously disappeared in Texas, Christmas Eve morning. What a Christmas for the family, right? So many families not having their children home during the holidays, worrying where they are, not having closure, not having answers. Be kind. I read an article. The question is, if you're in the bushes, was the boyfriend cleared? In an article I read, it was that there was a romantic relationship that mutually broke up and they didn't sense anything nefarious had happened. So that is as far as I've gotten on that. That's basically the complexity of the statement. So and please call 210-335-6000, the Bear Sheriff's Office, if you find any information regarding Camilla. And there she was standing by her vehicle. And I zoomed in a little bit for you. It's an odd figure, isn't it? And why is that her standing with her hands out like that? Isn't that an odd positioning? What do you all think about the positioning of that? I mean, look at how oh no, that might not be her arms. That's the windows. Okay, I see. I'm looking at it differently now. But that occurred before the neighbor who saw her walking down White Horse Paths and turning left. Yeah, I wonder if they called the boyfriend in and questioned him and his friends as well. And why did they break up, right? Okay, we're going to end with Sebastian. We're going to get to Sweet Melodee Buzzard, rest in peace. Melodee Buzzard from California, 9 years old, was reported missing, not by her family, not by her mother, but by school administrators due to a prolonged absence. She's 9 years old, went to school remotely, but they noticed a prolonged absence. The last sighting was in August, and it started a search across 8 states. In 8 states, because the mother had taken a road trip with Melodee. Her mother is Ashley. And the mother left their home in Longpoke, California. They went on a road trip wearing wigs, seen at the rental car agency wearing wigs, changing plates along the way. And mom returned home without 9-year-old Melodee. Law enforcement had been zeroing in on areas along the Colorado-Utah border, and ironically, it was 2 people who were out because of the beautiful day, went out to take photos, and rather than take photos capturing the beautiful nature and environment, perfect day, they came across a decomposing body. and they called 911. And at the time, law enforcement did not realize that this was 9-year-old Melodee Buzzard, who they had been searching for since October. October 14th, it was called in that she had a prolonged absence. Mom returned. They went on their trip in October. The body that was found was decomposing remains. It was found in Caneville, Utah, in early December, and gunshot wounds to the head. I'll repeat that. Nug to the head. Wounds. Keep that in mind when I read to you the charges of the mother. They were unaware it was Melanie who had disappeared during that road trip in October with her mother, who her mother returned home, and law enforcement scoured 8 states in about 2 months, including federal, local, and state authorities. Well, once they found the remains, the decomposing body, it took about 2 weeks, and the coroner said, pointed to a suspect who Melanie trusted most in this world. So he pointed to a suspect who Melanie trusted most in this world. Now, Melanie lived solely with her mother. Her father had died when she was a baby from a motorcycle accident, and many of the family members had not seen Melodee in years. They had lost contact with Melodee after the father's death. She returned home without her, and the coroner, once the body was found 2 weeks later, said the suspect was someone Melanie trusted most in this world. Her mother was arrested. Now, the body was found, I believe they said early December. And then it took 14 days, and then the coroner made that statement. And then Ashley Buzzard, the mother of Melodee, was arrested on Tuesday, December 23rd for first-degree M. And listen to this: carried out with exceptional cruelty and viciousness. So first-degree M, she's being charged with carried out with exceptional cruelty and viciousness. She had a hearing on Friday, and in that hearing, Ashley Buzzard pled not guilty, and there were audible sighs from the family members and others in the courtroom. Also, the prosecution announced that they were not going for the death penalty. They will be seeking life without parole. A family member on the father's side did an interview, and when asked about that, excuse me, I need to clear my throat. Excuse me 1 second. When asked about that, said, well, that's not over yet. We don't accept that. So we will see if there's further information coming down the road regarding the D-pen, or if indeed they're just going to go with life without parole, which I'm not sure why they made that decision at all. Yep, in Utah. I don't understand why. So think about that, though. Mom came back, I believe, October 9th or 10th. Yes, October 10th. So Melodee was last seen on video in October, on October 9th, on the Colorado-Utah border. So law enforcement believes she was unalived shortly after being seen on video there October 9th on the Colorado-Utah border because Mom Ashley returned home without her the next day to California. And indeed, she was found out in Canesville, Utah, with nugs to her head. And it stated in the document that it was first-degree M carried out with exceptional cruelty and viciousness. Law enforcement said the investigation was stymied because it went on for 2 months. Thank you, Raymond, for 9 months of support. Raymond says, Jay, thanks for all you do for these missing kids. My pleasure. You are welcome. And thank you for all you all do for supporting the missing as well. It takes us all, right? And then when we find little ones like this. Hi, Minnie. Minnie's at the drive-thru. When we find a child taken allegedly innocent until proven guilty, I guess, but it looks like she may have taken her child's life viciously. And it was also stated that the investigation was stymied by deliberate effects to hide the truth, clumsy disguises, remember the wig, swapping license plates, suspicious driving, and an uncooperative mother with no reasonable explanation as to Melodee's whereabouts. And she was seen on footage pulling in, changing wigs, backing up so it looked like she was trying to avoid cameras at the gas station she stopped at. But she is in custody now. And rest in peace. Now, one of the relatives said the Melodee's body has returned back to California, but they don't have any information about services or anything yet. Just absolutely terrible. And it's also, how did he put it? I'm looking in my notes real quick. Give me a second. Oh, it was also stated that this was calculated, cold-blooded, premeditated heartlessness that went into the planning of this death, unaliving this first-degree M. Calculating, cold-blooded, premeditated heartlessness that went into the planning of this first-degree M of 9-year-old Melodee Buzzard. Wow. And if you recall, she had told a friend, she had given them to a friend. She had given her to, not a friend, people at a zoo somewhere in Utah to help her out because she was having surgery. She didn't know their name, their phone number, couldn't get a hold of them. And he said that her surgery was just an outpatient, surgery, not one where you would give your child away, which you wouldn't anyway, right? So rest in peace. I'll keep you updated. Hit the notification bell. Melodee Buzzard, 9 years old, her life taken, and the suspect being charged is her mother. It does go by fast, Raymond. Thank you for your 9 months of support. Bless her little heart. And it was an accidental discovery. I listened to law enforcement who said, they were about 20 miles because they went out there for about 4 days the first time. Then they just got back after a week when a couple days later, I think the next morning, Melodee was found. And he said they were about 20 miles away from where she was found, probably the area where they were planning to go next. Hold on 1 second. I'm just going to pause for 1 second and I'll be back on. We're going to talk about Sebastian Rogers. Okay. So many of you have been wondering, asking about these photos that had been circulating from allegedly Nova Scotia, Canada. Hi, Gypsy. And wondering why nothing has been said as far as follow up on this. I can say I do not know. I have searched, but I have not searched today to see if there was any information on this. I've discussed it. I've seen from many of you that this one right here, to me, looks a lot like Sebastian, even the way he's standing. Okay. But I don't know anything more than that. And there's really nothing to report as far as that goes, but I wanted to address it for you. I don't know why it's not being debunked, cleared, discussed. I'm not sure. But allegedly it's from Canada. I know many have, including myself, have had a hard time letting go of the North Carolina sighting. And I think as we go down the investigative path, and we're almost 2 years, and things that have occurred, haven't occurred, possibly is why in hindsight, we're questioning a couple of things. And that is one of them that is being questioned, in my opinion. I just can't get, and yes, I did see the photo of the family who claims it was their child standing around the Christmas tree, but he didn't really look like Sebastian to me. But I'm not accusing anyone. I'm just saying I would love if someone's been cleared, and it's not in relation to the investigation, because we would never want to hurt an investigation, to hear a little possibly transparency on how they were cleared. Who put eyes on that person? Did you just look at a photo around a Christmas tree? I'm sure they did more. I'm just going through it because I think that one's really a lot of people have not put it to rest yet in their minds. And when we've seen some of the things, in our minds, do we have the full context? No, we don't. But in our minds, some of the things that should have been acted on that weren't acted on, it's concerning. There's things you can't let go of. Let's get to Green Hoodie. Yes, I've seen the images of the individual that was being spoken of it being Green Hoodie, the male. I have. Okay. Green Hoodie was cleared so quickly again, and that's why I'm bringing it up. When you don't know who someone is in footage and someone puts it out and instantly you suddenly know who the person is, you've interviewed the person, later on it's claimed the person even had the same sweatshirt on. Whoop-de-doo, by the way. It just didn't, I guess you have to go with trust, right? And that takes us hindsight again back through the things we've seen that have been done and not done, responded to and not responded to, allegedly, that we know of. It just makes you wonder, how do you not know someone and suddenly you're within hours, if you've located them, identified them, spoken to them, cleared them, investigated them. So I'm not saying anything other than now here we are, this image to me, and it's just me. I'd love to hear Seth weigh in on this one right here. He seems to me, does that seem to have the same stance Sebastian has? So I really do think that Green Hoodie is important because law enforcement was acting on Green Hoodie once, and footage was out there on Green Hoodie. And I just think Green Hoodie is important. I would love to know exactly what Green Hoodie was doing standing by the car, what Green Hoodie and KP were discussing, exchanging, allegedly, if anything, but it seems to me they were in that exchange in the car that Sebastian was watching. When Green Hoodie walked away and tapped the car, you don't do that if you don't know someone. You don't touch on their car like that. There's just a lot there, but what was the role there? And that's, we don't know. Okay. I will address it. I was asked not to address this, but I will. Teach, can you tell me, do you believe that he is in the cemetery 400 yards from his house with all of the information now coming out about that for those 2 nights? Minnie, I think it's very possible. Yes, I do think it's very possible. Originally, remember how we talked about a lot of times, and I don't want to say this and accuse KP, but I'm just going with the fact of she was the last one to see him. Okay. No accusations, just common sense here. She was the last one to see him. I'm just going to use her. If indeed KP had something to do with it, it is very common statistically that mothers bury children that they have something to do with close to home. I think it would be not unthinkable to have them bury him above a body. We talked about that when we found the secret cemetery in Enoch Way subdivision that Danny Guy, Kathy Bowersox's nephew, owned the land, built it, and Kathy and Terry live in there, the water tower, the secret cemetery. When we found that secret cemetery, we talked about that on our live of could Sebastian be buried with another body? Well, the fact that there is an individual that was buried just a few days, just now, the irony of this is we went through the same conversation about Summer Wells. There was someone buried a few days before her disappearance in a cemetery, and people were reporting that that should be looked at. So here is also an individual, I believe it's a female, that was buried just a few days before Sebastian's disappearance. So now when you talk about that, what does that mean? It means to search the area, right? So I do think it's very possible because of the fact that we don't know where Sebastian is. So anything's possible. But I think that could be quite probable based on allegedly Kathy Bowersox being by the high school early that morning, KP taking that loop through the high school rather than searching, allegedly, in my opinion, and ending up right by the Warshams and the storage unit, which is all in that area. I do think that think about it. I'm going to hold that thought, but yes, I do think it's possible. I think there was some prep work that went into it. I think that's why we're looking at the 2 nights. I do. I think it's very possible. And the fact that it was images, it looked like of someone carrying something out there, right? And I'm not saying Sebastian's not with us. I'm just saying that is a possible based on the information coming out. That is a definite possible theory. But see, one thing I worry about is in discussing it, that if indeed that is where Sebastian is, rather than go to prison, the people are going to go race out there. So please, let's keep an eye on that area, law enforcement, please. So I don't know. I think there's so many odd things to the case. Why was he out putting skirting on his RV that night, Sunday night, in the dark of the night, the cold of the February night, when he was on a phone call, allegedly, when he said that an emotional roller coaster began at the house on Sunday night. That reporter quoted him. So why did that propel him to put skirting, which hides the underneath of your RV, on when he was off all weekend and could have done it in daylight and sunlight? There's just some things that don't make sense. Why did he leave? Why did CP, the stepfather, leave to go pick up that RV immediately? Not immediately, excuse me, within hours of Sebastian going missing, and then spent the night and took 2 other people with him. I just think there's a lot of things. Why were there no cameras in the house? Yet there's cameras pre-disappearance. There's cameras post-disappearance that they got during a search warrant. Why were there no lights on outside? If you drive by when they were there after Sebastian went missing, the porch light was on. Why was it Operation Blackout that night? There's just a lot of questions that would really help to have answers. Where exactly people were, when they were, who was in the 3 a.m. cars. Were they at the cemetery? So, Mindy, to answer your question, I can't say that he's there, but I can say that's, in my opinion, a probable theory. And oftentimes they're close to home. Yes, Minnie says, I agree, Teach. I think that's a really logical hunch with all the activity in that area and the night before, in my opinion. I think it's the strongest possibility at this point, in my opinion. Yes, I agree. Hi, Caroline. Hi, Poppy Love, Show Poodles, Diane Miller, everyone who's here. It's because we talked about that, him being buried with someone else in the secret cemetery. Well, here's another cemetery, and there's been showing of activity, excuse me, that evening. So hold on 1 second. I want to share something with you. Put ones if you can hear this. This is a song that was written for our channel about Sebastian. Thank you, Seashore Annie. And put a 1 in if you can hear it. I just wanted to play this song for you, for us.
The school bus doesn't stop at the house anymore. There's an empty place at their table. Your young, bright future lay ahead, which should have been loving, strong and stable. Can you hear it? Oh, the silence. He's gone now, he's not there. A missing child was mysteriously taken. The neighbors are filled.
Interesting. Sorry, guys, I'm working on it. I don't know why it stopped. 1 second.
The school bus doesn't stop at the house anymore. There's an empty place at their table. Your young, bright future lay ahead, which should have been loving, strong and stable. Can you hear it? Oh, the silence. He's gone now, he's not there.
Hold on, guys. I don't know why it's about to stop on me again. I'm having some technical difficulties, but I want you to hear the whole song. So 1 second. Sorry, y'all. I'm having difficulty. 1 second. It's playing somewhere.
Doesn't stop at the house anymore. There's an empty place in the future. The school bus doesn't stop at the house anymore.
I don't know what is happening.
Can you hear? There's an empty place. He's gone now, he's not there. A missing child was mysteriously taken. The neighbors are filled with fear. Can you hear it? Oh, the silence. He's gone now, he's not there. A missing child was stolen. Neighbors filled with fear. Evil moved in and the peace was shattered. They ruled by fear like nothing else mattered. They're stuck in a cycle, silent and gray. The neighbors can't speak until they move away. They can't speak out until they move away. Their beautiful homes are now a freak show. Cherished privacy, a thing of the past. Monsters moved in, are the children safe? How long will this nightmare last? Call 911. How can we help you? What is your address? If it's Kellen or Stafford, why was no help coming? The Lord caused them untold stress. Can you hear it? Oh, the silence. He's gone now, he's not there. I miss.
I don't know why it's restarting on us, but it's a lovely song. Sorry, y'all.
The school bus doesn't stop at the house anymore. There's an empty place at their table. Your young, bright future lay ahead, which should have been loving, strong and stable. Can you hear it? Oh, the silence. He's gone now, he's not there.
Okay.
A missing child was mysteriously taken. The neighbors are filled with fear. Can you hear it? Oh, the silence. He's gone now, he's not there. A missing child
Sorry, you all. It's playing on mine, but I don't think it's playing on yours. But I can hear it, but I don't know how I'm hearing it and you're not. So, one second.
Evil moved in and the peace was shattered. They ruled by fear.
Okay, you all. You can hear it?
Like
Okay.
nothing else mattered. They're stuck in a cycle, silent and gray. Their neighbors can't speak until they move away. They can't speak out until they move away. Their beautiful homes are now a freak show. Cherished privacy, a thing of the past. Monsters moved in, are their children safe? How long will this nightmare last? Call 911. How can we help you? What is your address? If it's Kellen or Stafford, why was no help coming? The Lord caused them untold stress. Can you hear it? Oh, the silence. He's gone now, he's not there. The missing child was mysteriously taken. The neighbors are filled with fear. Can you hear it? Oh, the silence. He's gone now, he's not there. A missing child was stolen. Neighbors filled with fear. We feel invisible to the sheriff. Sumner County, can you see? Why did you turn your back on us? We're the innocent ones, you and me. You serve and protect for all but us. Sheriff, why is this? Is it because we know more than you'd like us to know? Sir, a neighborhood child is so missed. We don't see heartbreak, desperation, or fear. They lost a child, but nothing is clear. Strangers come searching for your lost son. Did your life really come undone? The ears of the world are waiting hope for the sheriff to speak this child's name. The silence from him is deafening. Sir, please say this dear child's name. Is he too busy playing Monopoly, shifting houses, shifting names? We see it, sir, and we have questions. Sebastian's life is not a game. Can you hear it? Oh, the silence. He's gone now, he's not there. A missing child was mysteriously taken. The neighbors are filled with fear. Can you hear
Okay.
it? Oh, the silence.
I don't know how to stop
He's
it.
gone now, he's not there. A missing child.
I don't know to stop it. It's on loop.
stolen.
Oh, maybe it's going to stop now.
Filled with fear.
Beautiful song. Seashore Annie wrote that song for us, for our channel, for Sebastian, and it's just, her talent is absolutely incredible. Thank you, Seashore Annie, for that. No updates for Sebastian, really, other than we need to keep looking, saying his name, and bring him home. Any possible sightings need to be reported. If you know something, call in. I find it very shocking that a $500,000 reward, someone hasn't come forward. I think, in my opinion, that means it's some sort of a network, in my opinion, and that's why they're not coming forward. Whether it's a family network, whether it's a STing network, whether it's like they said in Summer Wells' case, the Cornbread Mafia network, you know, a grassroots network, whatever it is that why no one's coming forward? Where is Sebastian Rogers? Where is Camilla? Let's go back to Camilla, because right now we need to take action for her as well. Camilla Mendoza's almost 19 years old. If you were in the San Antonio area, in the hill country of Texas, please get out there, search. Let's make an Amber Alert be taking action. When we hear that alarm, that sound, that alert, we take action. Whether it's sharing a flyer, sharing with all our social media contacts, getting out and searching, hanging a flyer, whatever it is you can do. I am trying to reach out to Camilla's aunt, and I will let you know after I get in touch with her to see what we can do to help, what information they want brought forth. If you know anything about Camila Mendoza's Olmos from San Antonio, last seen 6:38 a.m. on Christmas Eve morning, 2025, we're in our last days. She left her cell phone. It is not unusual for Camilla to go out at 6:38 a.m. and take a walk. However, it's unusual for her not to take her phone with her. She was last seen because during her walks, she uses her phone to reach out to friends and on social media. She was last seen originally by her vehicle at the residence in San Antonio. And she was looking for something in her car, closed the door, walked away with not driving her car, left her vehicle there and walked away. Since then, the sheriff's presser, which I admit was a little confusing and discombobulated and really needed some bullet points at the end. But what they've said is since then, a person saw on Camilla, they believe, has footage, turned it in, of her walking down Wild Horse Path Road, turning left. They believe it to be Camilla because the image is wearing clothing similar to what they believe Camilla is in, which is a black North Face sweater with baby blue accents on it, pajama shorts, and white tennis shoes. So they are working under the assumption that that was Camilla walking in the area. Now they are also functioning under the impression that Camilla walked away alone, most likely on a walk, since that's her routine, is what I'm assuming. You make your own assumptions. And maybe something happened to her once she walked away. It's been known to happen. We've seen many walkers, joggers be attacked, taken. They have also extended the search into Mexico, giving a missing persons alert out into Mexico as well. Let me get the name of the area for you. Nuevo Leon, the Attorney General's office there, has filed a missing persons report for Camilla. They have issued one as well. Now, in Texas, there is a clear alert for Camilla. She's 19, so she would not qualify for an Amber Alert. She's not a senior citizen, but in Texas, they have a clear alert for adults who are missing who are not children or seniors. So please, let's start, all of us, curving some of these predators, these people getting away with our wonderful family members, loved ones, and start going into action when we hear that Amber Alert. Really getting into action, doing what we can do, and let's see if more people are caught and less kids are taken. Thank you so much for being here. Please hit that notification bell for updates on Camilla. Melodee, rest in peace. Her body has arrived in California, but they have no information on services. Her mother has pled not guilty, shocking the rest of the family in the courtroom. And her death was vicious, calculated, premeditated, heartless, and mom has pled not guilty. And then as far as Sebastian Rogers goes, we need to keep Sebastian's name out there till we bring him home. Yes, there's some possible revelations coming out about a location in the cemetery. I pray, even though it's not what we would hope for, I do hope for some sort of a closure for Seth and the family, loved ones who are looking for him. So I know it wouldn't be what we want, but we'll only know if we look, right? Thank you all for being here. Hit that notification bell. Don't forget to join us for a conversation about justice, cyberbullying, social media, and missing children's cases, bringing together many high-profile players. I will be on the panel as well, and we will be on Nick the Hat's channel, working together to unite, thinking and strategizing and talking, having a conversation. So come join that conversation tomorrow at Nick the Hat's channel. Mods, can you drop a link to Nick's channel? There will be a Tennessee politicians there, a Tennessee politician, prosecutors, defense attorneys, you name it. And we need to start this conversation of what can we do to do better when we have over 500,000 children disappearing, being kidnapped every year. Thank you all so much for being here. I will see you tomorrow. Blessings. And don't forget to join the conversation on Nick's. Thank you for posting that on Nick's channel. Tomorrow, there's going to be 2 shows. The first one, I believe, is beginning at 1:30 or 1 o'clock Eastern time. Sorry, I don't have that in front of me right now. But it's a good, valuable conversation. We need to make a difference and get ahead of some of these people who are taking these children against their will. Have a great day. Talk soon. And please be aware of your surroundings. Talk soon, my friends.